can't get no rest. No, no. I've been running so long that my feet don't work no more. Oh yeah, I've been running so.
Okay, at this point in time, I've had the car for quite a while and just haven't got around to doing anything. It was when the COVID had sort of first hit, and you'd look at the front of the car. The guy that owned this car before me was just a complete butcher. He'd cut the guts right out of the front of it, and most of the damage I'm fixing is actually the stuff that has been done by the previous owner. But I thought I'd start with straightening up that slam panel. And so I had a go, and that came up quite easily, quite well. And the other thing is, I really do want to have a go at fixing this stuff because it's an RS2000. This stuff's all going to be behind the nose cone and not really visible. And so I thought it was an ideal place to have a go at making some panels myself and doing that. So that's what I did. This here looks like it might have some bog in it, I'm not sure, so I'm going to grind that out. So anyway, that's what I'm going to have a bit of a look at today. This is the support that sits underneath the radiator, which is pretty badly bent up. So I think I might have a go at making a new one. I've just spent a bit of time trying to make something up that I can press these dimples into the steel. As my first attempt there, which you can't see much of a dimple, but that's a good start, so I'll just have to keep working on that. Okay, been having a bit of trouble with the video. Finally it looks like it's going to play the game. So this here's the support that sits underneath the radiator. Now if you see probably in the previous video, it was quite badly bent, and you know, I just can't understand the guys that had this car. They just welded things into position without trying to straighten anything. As you can see, the front, that's the front there, that's quite badly sort of bent up and mangled, and there was another piece somewhere around that I've cut off, but I'm going to modify this for the bigger radiator to go in, where it sits down lower. Now what I've actually done is, as I say, this was the front. I've now designed it so that this is going to be the front, and that sits in quite well into the front, and it actually just, the little things, it's amazing how much better it makes the car look like when I just sat that in to see that it's going to fit the other way around. So I've got to cut this along this line here now to put the step down for the radiator support, the modified radiator support. As you can see, it had these indents with the holes that sit at the front, so I don't think it actually needs them for the modified radiator, but I just thought I'd have a bit of an attempt at doing them. I'm just trying to these bits that are not going to be visible sitting underneath the radiator in the front of the car. I'm just trying to get a bit of practice playing with the sheet metal and working with it, and I've been pleasantly surprised so far how easy it is to work with, and so hopefully when it comes to doing the stuff that's going to be more visible, I'll be able to do it. So anyway, I'll just keep going with this now, and I'll probably take another little video in a minute of what I'm doing. And I've been gathering tools and bits and pieces as I've been going. And you'll remember in the first video that I did, I said that this wasn't going to happen very fast, and I'm just doing it as I get a few minutes here and there. But again, as I say, with the little bit that I've done, it makes the car look so much better, and it's really given me that little bit of a boost to sort of get in and do it. I've got this nice bit of steel here that was gotten for me by an acquaintance. That's been really good for working on the metal and tapping it into shape. And the acquaintance, I told him that this could actually get him up into the friend category. So anyway, I'll keep going with this and I'll take another video soon. Well, here's the selection of panels that I've actually made. That's the lower radiator support, goes underneath the radiator. I've modified that so that this section here is for the larger radiator to fit in. So that's just got to go back into the car. I've got these two little knickknacks that I've made here are to go either side of the top radiator support, just as a bit of strengthening. Because there's a little bit of the top section of the radiator support that's been cut out to allow the bigger radiator. Two pieces here, just a couple of pieces to replace where the butchers had cut material out of the front of the car. I think what they'd actually done to the car would have really weakened the front of the car, and probably made the front of the car walk all over the road, to be quite honest. So this is the front section that I've made to go in. That's all finished now. So I had that all made up and it was just virtually straight. And I really figured that it probably had a very slight bend from the middle outwards. And that's, unfortunately, I don't have the old piece that was cut out to really see what shape it was. I know there's one guy that I've seen online that says always keep your old panels, and so that you've got the shape to so that you can match the shape. But anyway, I used this tucking tool thing here that I saw someone using online. I just can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head, but basically what that does is allows you can actually put a tuck in that top of panel, basically shrinking the top panel, which pulls the outer edges around. So I've done a tuck there and there, and the shape seems to fit quite nicely now when I put it into the car. So yeah, it's been a lot of work, and I think it all fits quite nicely. Obviously there's probably a little bit of tidying up and fettling to be done as I weld it all in. One thing that I have found when welding the new steel, basically this is joined in across a line around there, and yes, I did spot a little bit of a weld hole there that I've got to fill up. And what I noticed, the new steel, when I weld the new steel, it welds just beautifully if I weld two pieces of the new steel together. But welding the old to the new gives me a lot of trouble. And I know I heard someone online that I was watching basically said that they find they have the same problem. The original material in the car is very troublesome. So I thought at first that it was just that I wasn't cleaning it up well enough, but I'm not sure. So anyway, that's something that I'll have to get on top of as I go further with the car. So anyway, we'll go down and have a look at these bits just fitting on the car now and see what it looks like. Working on the car, and so this is what I've done. I've made up the new front panel there, and I've made up a couple of these brackets here, which, if I can get that to, that fits in a bit of strengthening next to the radiator there. One will go on either side. And I've fixed up the If you can see it there, the lower radiator support, and I've modified it to take the bigger radiator. And I have also, so there's that. I've made up these couple of pieces that fit in here. And then there's another one over here that fits into this here. So that's pretty much everything that I can fix the major damage that was done by the people that had this car before me. Hello, rev heads and thrashers. We've got some goodies here to unbox. One large gearbox tunnel. Actually, it's a lot larger than I expected, but the one that I actually wanted no one had it in stock. But I think this will be quite nice. Plenty of room for a big gearbox. One bulkhead strengthening plate. Not sure whether that's a little bit of overkill, but can't hurt. And now one radiator with the big header. So I wanted to make sure and get that to make sure it all was going to fit before I go welding things up in the front end. So that's that lower radiator support, the modified support welded in nicely now. And you can see on this side I've got these couple of little supports on either side of the radiator. I've opened up some holes on either side of the radiator there for a bit more airflow. I was in two minds about doing that, but because obviously you want to try and steer as much air through the actual radiator as you can, but the MST cars, they have those modifications, so I figure if they've done it, it's good enough for me. So I'm just going to sit the radiator in place now. That's sitting in there nicely. So the radiator's in there quite nicely, and as you can see, so now I've got it, the height seems pretty good. I tried closing the bonnet down on it and it seems to clear the bonnet. So yeah, what you'll see that I've done, I took a slither about 20mm wide at the top down to nothing, down the sides here, of that, so that the radiator is sitting back. It was sitting out about 20-25 mil at the top there, so now it's nice and close at the top. So that's good. We're making some progress slowly. Well, here's today's masterpiece. I got in and made this for the heater box. So that sits right there. Once again, so the heater comes up inside of that from underneath the fan. Once again, I didn't have the old one to make any template off. I just did a bit of look online, and that seems to be about right. And this covering piece seems to clear it all a-okay. Out. This is the section that I took out. It's got several skins and weld everywhere. Weighs a ton. There's a ton of weld in that. I've managed to fabricate a nice new section for the bulkhead there, which I think has come up very well. That is a major improvement over what was there. It was just a mess, to be honest. So that can be welded into there sometime in the very near future. Like so. Well, that's fitted now. So the bulkhead strengthening plate will go on there when that comes. And the next thing is I've got the large gearbox tunnel coming soon. So anyway, I'm keeping on going. That's another job sort of well underway. Well, we'll leave it here on this video. You can see on this video here the large gearbox tunnel is in place. It's just screwed in. It's not been welded at this stage. So anyway, I'll probably pick up here on the next video that I do. Sorry it's been so long, about 2.5 years since I uploaded the first video. But I didn't intend for it to be this long, but we've had a lot of flooding and a lot of rain the last couple of years, which has meant I've been mowing my lawn 2 to 3 times a week. I've got a 50-metre long hedge on the front of my property, and I've been doing that every probably 5 weeks, doing the hedge, trimming it. It used to be 2 or 3 times a year. And Christmas just gone, I was really going to put in a full week or week and a half between Christmas, that Christmas New Year period. And wouldn't you know it, we had a tornado come through our area and took out most of the power poles. And so there was no power for about a week and a half. So there was pointless trying to do anything. I couldn't use a welder or a grinder. And so I'll try not to leave it so long to get the next video up. So thanks for watching, and remember to hit like and subscribe.
Entrance to Jimboomba, cut off by floodwater.
Total decimation.